I'm the current UK Wolsten's Children's Laureate, and I'm the author and the illustrator of the How to Train Your Dragon and Wizards of Once books. I'm so glad you joined me for the Reading is Magic Festival. Each day is themed around a point on my laureate reading charter, and today's theme is all about representation, about all children seeing themselves and their experiences in the books they read, so every child feels that books are for them and that their lives and experiences are important. Every child has the right to see themselves reflected in a book. Remember I say that reading is magic? Well, that magic should be for everyone. Books are for everyone. We need publishers to produce books about all kinds of children from everywhere, from all kinds of experiences and all kinds of places, so that everyone is included. And we need these books to be written and illustrated by creators from all kinds of backgrounds, from everywhere. I support initiatives like Book Trust, Empathy Lab and the Premier League to help make every single child feel that the magic of books is for them, and that they too could be working as illustrators, as book writers or filmmakers or anywhere in the creative industries in the future. And I hope this event will show you that books are for everyone and everyone's stories are important.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Karim and I am so excited to be bringing you another exciting Reading is Magic event, because I genuinely love reading, especially books with amazing pictures like the one we are going to find out more about now. In Jessica Love's book, the main character Julian gets to wear a fantastic costume, a bit like the ones I wore in Strictly Come Dancing actually, so I'm looking forward to this. Let's give a huge welcome to Jessica.
Hi, my name is Jessica Love. Welcome to my drawing studio and to the Reading is Magic Festival. I'm so happy to be with you today. For those of you who can't see me, I'd like to describe what this room looks like. So it's a little yellow room in the middle of the forest in upstate New York in the United States on planet Earth. And inside the yellow room is me, and I'm wearing white dungarees. I'm a tall, blonde, white lady with brown eyes and freckles. And I also have wings, but those are invisible unless you have very, very special powers. So I am a painter, and I also write stories. And I've written 2 stories about a little boy named Julian, or as you call him in the UK, Julian. And the first one is called Julian is a Mermaid. And the second one is called Julian at the Wedding. And so we're going to do a little story time. I'm going to read them both to you. And then we are going to color. Okay. So this is the first story. And I wrote the book and I drew the pictures. Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love, which is me. So we start where all good things start, at a water aerobics class. And there's Julian. And that's his grandmother. Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love for Nana. And as we leave the YMCA, we start to walk towards the subway, or as you call it in the UK, the underground. And now here we are on the subway train. This is a boy named Julian. And this is his Nana. And those are some mermaids. And we see behind Julian and his grandmother some mermaids who are about to get on the train. And then they do get on the train. And they have long, beautiful hair and gorgeous mermaid dresses. Julian loves mermaids. And as he stares at the beautiful mermaids, the train begins to fill with water. And his hair begins to grow. And he kicks off his shorts and takes off his shirt and starts to swim. And then a swirl of fish, every color of the rainbow, rushes around his body, transforming Julian into a mermaid. With a tail the color of lilacs and marigolds. And he swims through the water when suddenly a big, beautiful skyfish with stars on its scales swims towards him with a necklace in its mouth for Julian. When? Let's go, honey. This is our stop, says his Nana. And it's time to get off the train. And they wave bye-bye to the mermaids. And they start walking through the neighborhood. And Julian says, Nana, did you see the mermaids? And Nana says, I saw them, honey. And they get back to Nana's apartment. And as they're about to go inside, Julian says, Nana, I am also a mermaid. And they go inside. And Nana says, I'm going to take a bath. You be good. Do you think he will? And then Julian has an idea. And off come the shoes, and off come the shorts, and off comes the shirt. And Julian starts pulling up ferns from his grandmother's plant, making a crown. And he covers the crown in flowers. And he climbs up on his grandmother's dresser, and he puts on some of her lipstick. And then a curtain blowing in the wind becomes a mermaid tail. And look how fabulous. What a mermaid. Oh, Nana's back from her bath, and she sees that her flat is a mess. Uh-oh, do you think there might be trouble? We see a little worry. We see a little concern. Oh, but she's back. And she's dressed to go out. And she's hiding something behind her back. And she says, come here, honey. And Julian says, for me, Nana? And she says, for you, Julian. And she hands him a necklace made of coral from the sea. And they go outside. And they start walking through the neighborhood. Where are we going? Julian says. You'll see, says Nana. And they walk past a man with 2 wiener dogs and 2 ladies sipping on cold soda. And then they arrive at the seashore. And there are people in costumes, dressed like jellyfish, like mermaids, like sea creatures. Mermaid. whispers Julian. Like you, honey, says Nana. Let's join them. And it is a parade of mermaids, every color of the rainbow. And they join the parade and walk by the sea in Coney Island. The end. And on the very last page, everyone from Nana's water aerobics class is a mermaid. And that's the end of the first story. So then I wrote and drew pictures for another one. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been part of a wedding as a kid, but when I was a kid, I was in a lot of weddings. Not getting married, but I was a flower girl, which is a job for a kid at a wedding where they put you in a very itchy dress and you hold a basket filled with petals. And when it's time for the people getting married to walk down the aisle, it's your job to throw flower petals everywhere. And there's one other job at a wedding, which is when a kid is a ring bearer, and it's that kid's job to carry the 2 rings that the people who are getting married are going to wear. And they're usually sewn onto a little pillow, and the ring bearer and the flower person walk down the aisle together. And those are the 2 jobs for a kid at a wedding. And I was a flower girl many, many times. And so this is kind of a story about that. Kind of. Julian at the wedding. Now, this copy of the book is called a proof. And that's when a book is actually being made. It gets made in a factory. And before they print the hard version of it, like this, they print a soft version of it, like this, to make sure that all the pictures are right. And they're still finishing up the hard version of this book. So this is a floppy copy. And it's called a proof. And you may also notice that there's an accent above the A in Julian's name, because this version is the version published in the United States. And in the United States, Julian is Julián, and he is from an Afro-Latinx family. And so there's a little bit of Spanish in the book as well. Here we go. Julián at the wedding. So the book starts getting off the subway in a neighborhood called Sunset Park. And we see Julián, and we see his nana, or in the United States, his abuela, which means grandmother in Spanish, about to walk into the park. Julián at the Wedding by Jessica Love. And as they walk into the park, we see that it's just starting to be fall because this tree is turning bright yellow. And we see Julián with his abuela, or his nana, and they're all dressed up. Julián is wearing a purple outfit with kind of a skirt and shorts and purple shoes. And then on the other page, we see one of the ladies from Abuela's water aerobics class and a little girl with a baseball cap and a big, puffy, peach-colored dress. This is Julián. And that is Marisol. And we see them getting ready. And Marisol's hat is being taken away, and she's being given a crown of flowers to wear, and she does not look pleased. Today, they are going to be in a wedding, and their grandmothers are talking to each other while they're being introduced. These are the brides. And there are two brides dressed in a suit and a dress with flowers in their hair, and they're handing Julian their dog, and they're handing Marisol a basket of flowers. These are the brides, and this is their dog Gloria. And here we have Julian and Marisol walking down the aisle, and she's throwing petals, and Julian is walking Gloria. Because sometimes dogs get to be in weddings too. A wedding is a party for love. And here the brides are kissing, and Marisol is throwing flowers everywhere. And after the wedding part comes the dinner part. And after the dinner part comes the cake part. And all the grown-ups are eating and talking and drinking champagne. And Julian and Marisol are getting ready to make some mischief. And Marisol whispers in Julian's ear, and they climb under the table, which is the best hiding place at a wedding, trust me. And once they're under the table, Marisol takes off her flower crown and gives it to Julian, and he looks fabulous. And then they sneak out from under the table. "Let's go," whispers Marisol. And Julian and Marisol and Gloria run across the field. And it's starting to get a little dark, and it's starting to get a little misty. And they run to the weeping willow tree, which has long, feathery, beautiful leaves. And Julian says, "It's a fairy house." Or that's not what it says here, but that is what it's going to say when the final version comes out. And as Julian plays in the fairy tree, making for himself a beautiful boa, he realizes Marisol is nowhere to be seen. "Marisol," he says. And she's chasing Gloria all over the field. And she's tickling her and wrestling with her and rolling in the mud with her and getting her dress absolutely filthy. Oh. Uh-oh. And she sees her dress, and she sees that it is ruined. Julian has an idea. And he takes Marisol's hand, and he pulls her inside the fairy house tree. And he takes off his shirt, and he gives it to her to wear instead of her dirty dress. And he pulls some beautiful leaves down from the fairy tree. And he starts arranging them on her back. And then Julian makes for Marisol a pair of wings. And just as they're both turning into fabulous fairies, their grandmothers are back looking for them. Is Marisol in trouble? She got her dress pretty dirty. She looks worried, and she says, "I got dirty." And her grandmother says, "Yes, mija, but now you have wings." And mija means my daughter in Spanish. And they go back to the party, and the brides say, "There you are." And then it's time for dancing. "Let's dance," they say. And they did. And everybody dances and dances until their feet fall off. And then Julian and Marisol take a little nap under a tree while their grandmothers finish the cake, with the Statue of Liberty in the background and all of New York City starting to go to sleep. And that's the end of the story. Now we're going to do a very quick how to draw a mermaid tail lesson. It's going to be upside down, but I'll try and turn it right side up so you all can see what I'm doing occasionally. Okay. So I have my piece of paper. I have a pen. I have the two colors I want to use. This is just watercolor. And I have some water and a brush. And that's all you need. Okay, so to draw a mermaid tail, the first shape you want to make is like this. Okay, that's going to be the bottom of the tail, the bottom of the fin. Then you come up on either side like that, and that's the whole fin, okay? Then it's just the top of the tail, and that can be in any shape that you want. It can be a big mermaid, small mermaid, long mermaid, short mermaid, whatever kind of mermaid you like. Next comes the water. So first, you get your brush wet, and my water is pink right now because I've been using pink paint, but that's okay. So first you want to get your tail nice and wet before you add any color to it. And you can use lots of water. You don't need to be, it's okay if it gets really wet. And this is really the trick of using watercolor, because what the water does when the paper is wet before you put color on is it pulls the color all up into the page. So watch this. I'm just going to get a little bit of magenta and put it here. And then it's the water that really does the work. And it's going to pull the color all the way up into the fins, carrying the color everywhere that there's water. And you can even kind of go like that and swish it around. Swish it around like that. And now I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. I'm going to blend these with a little bit of water, but not too much. Once I put the color on, I don't like to touch it too much. I like to let the water do most of the work. Just blend that a little bit. And then once you have the colors all kind of blending together and agreeing with each other, you stop and you don't touch it. And you let it dry. And then in about 10 minutes, you'll have a mermaid tail. But that's really the key, is knowing when to stop. So I'm going to stop. There's my mermaid tail. Oops. And that's okay too. Sometimes you get drips. But because it's watercolor, you can just dab them up with a rag.
Thank you, Jessica. That was truly fabulous, just like Julian. It's brilliant when a book celebrates someone expressing themselves just as they are and is so full of joy. So maybe I'll try being a mermaid too, or maybe a peacock. What would you like to be? Don't forget, there are lots more events to enjoy. Check out the Reading is Magic Festival website.
treat.